Hello and welcome to Humans of EV. This right here is the Ampere Nexus ST, the flagship offering from Ampere. And today we're answering the question, is this Ampere scooter worth your money in 2025? First up, the design. The Nexus ST draws inspiration from the bird, the Arctic tern, which shows in sleek aerodynamic lines. It's got that clean premium vibe without trying too hard. These diamond cut LED headlamps aren't just for aesthetics. They genuinely offer excellent visibility at night, no visible nuts or bolts, just a clean, flush look that turns your heads on the street. One standout feature is this massive 712mm seat, one of the longest in its class. There's ample room for both rider and the pillion. Plus, with 235mm of floorboard space, even tall riders won't feel cramped. With 170mm of ground clearance and about 1300mm of wheelbase, this handles speed bumps and potholes like a champ. I've taken it over some rough patches and it has stayed stable all the way. Unlike cheaper hub motor EVs, the Nexus ST comes with a mid-mounted motor, giving you better weight distribution and better handling. The Nexus ST has got 3 ride modes. Firstly, it's got Eco, City and Power mode. Additionally, it's also got a reverse mode. It can hit 93 km/h in power mode. In city mode, it clocks about 63 kmph, and eco mode, it's limited to 42 kmph. The acceleration is smooth, which is not jerky like some other EVs in this segment. Range. In our test, we got a range of about 100 km to 110 km, which is still more than enough for your daily rides. The Nexus ST comes with Ampere's Nex.io, which is the brain of the scooter. And this 7-inch TFT, this is the brightest TFT touchscreen in its segment. It's got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so you can pair your phone for calls, text and even music control. There's also turn-by-turn navigation included, though it is not as seamless as you would get with Google Maps. There's also auto day-night mode, which adjusts based on the ambient lighting. Although transitions can be a bit laggy, OTA updates are supported and they can fix this over time. On the practicality front, this scooter is solid. It's got 24 liters of underseat storage, which is more than enough for a full face helmet plus some knickknacks. Also, this scooter's got a nice little hole to store your water bottles and mobile phones. With an IP67 rating, it shrugs off rain and dust like a pro. Perfect for those surprise monsoon showers. Now, the price. At 1,14,000 ex-showroom, that puts it squarely in the premium segment. But the running costs, that's where the magic happens. A full charge costs around 18 rupees and gives you around 100 kilometers of range. That's 0.18 rupees per kilometer. Compare that to a petrol scooters at 5 to 7 rupees per kilometer, and if you ride, let's say, about 10,000 kilometers a year, you're saving about 50,000 rupees annually. In 5 years, you have basically paid off the scooter. Maintenance, way simpler. No engine oil, no clutch cables, no chain adjustment. Fewer parts means fewer problems. And the mid-mount motor helps improve the long-term reliability as well. Ampere has about 400 plus dealerships across 300 plus cities, and they're backed by the 165 years of Greaves engineering legacy. So support shouldn't be an issue. Bottom line, electric scooters are now at par with petrol scooters in terms of pricing. But where they charge ahead is with their running costs. These scooters are much cheaper to run on a daily basis, and if you want to maybe take a scooter a little longer, that's when you need to plan your rides, because the charging infra for two-wheelers is still catching up if you want to go outside the cities. But for in-city commutes, where you'll be using these scooters for the 90% of the time you own them, you don't need to really charge at public charging stations. So for those use cases, this scooter is a very strong case. After living with the Nexus ST for a while, here's the honest breakdown. Pros: strong range and fast charging, plus the hill-ready performance and the genuinely useful touchscreen make this a very good deal. But here's what is not really good about the scooter. The rear drum brakes on a premium scooter feels like a missed opportunity, and the touchscreen, while nice, could be a little snappier. And the reverse mode button, would have loved a toggle instead of holding it down.